Hey guys, how's it going? A little bit past midnight now. I'm still staying up, and I'm debating on staying up all night tonight because I just have this feeling in my gut that something big is going to happen. Maybe it's just my paranoia. Who knows? But this is the thing that I dislike about trading, right? Is that the stress is always there no matter what. You're always going to stress about missing an opportunity. I mean, it's not like normal markets that are open from 8 till 4:30 or whatever it is, right? Here it's open 24 hours a day, open, available to every single continent, so you're trading against different time frames all the time as well, and depending on the market that it is, they have different mentalities as well for the general direction of that day, right? So we might be, right now it's midnight, right? But Europe is literally just waking up right now. So, yeah, so it's really hard sometimes to manage your time. So whoever says that day trading is easy, don't ever believe them, guys. It's super stressful. But you just learn how to control the stress very well. So here, I'm on a daily chart, okay? I'm going to draw two different support lines. One goes like this, body to body. On a 1 hour chart, we will take the extreme cases as well. We'll take the extreme cases because it's always good to get a gauge of the lower areas and the higher areas, right? So if I just go to like right there and I just go wick to wick, actually, what we'll see is a really nice channel support that's coming down here. It's pretty much channeled in almost every way if you look at it closely, right? Pretty good. So every time it got to this area that I'm squiggling, it bounced back right away. So this zone right here is actually a really good zone to be expecting a good bounce from. Now I've counted this so many times, guys, and I don't think I can do it again, but we know that that's ABC somewhere down there, right? And what we do know is that the wave 3 made a perfect wave 3 extension of 1-to-1 of the first wave, a little bit more than that. Okay, that's what we know, and we've basically broken down every single wave except for this one right here that I'm trying to count, and it's incredibly difficult to count. So I've been trying it many times now, and honestly, just nothing. Like, all these ones are really easy to count, right? This one is so simple to count, with a huge wave 3 with an ending 5th wave that goes down like that. Super easy to count. But this one here, it's very difficult, and there are many different ways to count it, but this is the part that confuses me, right? Because this has the characteristics like this. It goes 1, 2, 3, like 4, and then a 5th wave like this. But within that 5th wave right there, it actually ends up doing this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. It's like an ending diagonal in the 5th wave, right? And it happens quite often like that when the 3rd wave and the 5th wave are both too strong. So, but if we consider this 5 waves right here, and I take my fib extension right here, I see that wave 3 is actually the shortest wave right now. So that couldn't be a possible valid count if I did something like this right here. Waves 1, 2, and if this was wave 3, and then we expected a wave 4 bounce, right? The reason why I said earlier, if you guys caught my tweet and my blog there, man, that was golden, because I said if it supported over 10K, we would bounce to about 10,800, 10,900, and that's exactly what happened, guys, like literally, right? So then the reason why I said 10,900 that made me nail it was this right here, because I considered this as wave 4, we're not retraced into wave 1 territory, and that was honestly luck. And now in hindsight, it was luck because I thought that this was the end of wave 1. So I'm going to explain to you guys why I was wrong and why I was right at the same time. So here's what I think the valid wave count is. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in here, okay? So that makes one entire wave coming down right now. So if that was wave 1 coming down right here, right, is this wave 3? And we say to ourselves, it can't be possibly wave 3 yet, could it? Because I only count a few waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and where's the 5th one right here? So there's got to be a little bit more coming down. Okay, let's say that this was a valid wave count right there. So what I'm counting is I count 1, 2, perfect, 3, okay, 4, and let's say where's this 5th one? Maybe a double bottom? Who knows? Now, this actually still fits my criteria. Wave 4 does not enter region 1 territory right here, right? But it's actually for the subwave of the third wave, which is like, whoa, did that actually happen right here? That's awesome. So now I'm expecting, who knows, this might even be a double bottom right here for now, but let's say that it was, and this was the end of wave 3 here, then we could get a slight correction to where the end of wave 1 is for over here for wave 4. So a possible 14,500 or 15,000, excuse me, $11,500 correction up to possibly for wave 4. And people are getting excited, oh yeah, the uptrend's over. And then little do they know that there's still one more subwave missing, right? Which is the fifth wave right here. I've tried literally every single combination and permutation that I can think of to try to count this Elliott wave, and it's actually really difficult. And yeah, and we also notice a lot of things, okay? I'm gonna go over it play by play here. On a daily chart, we're gonna go over every major indicator that I use. I was talking about since basically early in the morning, right? I was talking about early in the morning that this still needs to curve off like that on the daily, and we haven't exactly leveled off yet, okay? And I was also talking about how this eventually wants to snap out of this pattern right here, okay? This like kind of wedge pattern, but it's not for days, I think. I think it's not for like, it's probably till after the CME futures expires, after the 26th, I'm guessing. That's when we'll probably get a better indication. If we look on the 4-hour, we're still down ticking here on the histogram. It's, you know, on the 4-hour, we can't even break close to above 60. And you guys know how I know it's very bearish still? Because on the like the 15-minute chart from the uptrend when it started around 2:30 my time CST, we couldn't even break above 60 RSI. And I keep talking about my RSI rule, right, where it's like 35 to 60 or 16 under is either a bearish zone or a neutral zone. So we can't even break above there with conviction. That's how I know that it's not considered a major uptrend right now. We need to break into some major RSI zones to consider it an uptrend. So right now, as we stand on a very long time frame, like say a 4-hour, which is long to me, I'm still expecting some waves down. And I'm still expecting to make some sort of correction along a relevant support here, okay? Because I believe this is definitely not an impulse wave up. I still believe all this is still a massive correction zone. So on a 4-hour chart there, I still expect to make a touch or test at least right here again, okay guys? I still unfortunately expect it to test there again, and I might even expect to test 10K again very shortly. So the first test is 10K again, guys. Like if we hold strong like a bull there, then maybe this fifth wave coming down is just incredibly short and we get something like this instead, okay? Which can happen for, you know, like a 5, which is actually truncated, or we even see a truncated where it falls short of it, double bottom right near it, right? And this would be a typical one, but of course these can be like this as well because there was such strong momentum to come down that the fifth wave could not fully develop. And it does happen, guys. It does happen often. So the key zone to watch for is still 10K, guys. 10K. And we also need a very supportive daily candle, okay? I'll show you guys, for example, on a daily, when we found support that finally went to an uptrend, right? We finally found support right around these zones right here where lots of wicks were showing. So we want to find one single individual candle that can signal when a downtrend has ended, okay? And I'll show you guys. For example, right here, this one right here is a hammer, right? That one there is a beautiful freaking hammer. And this one right here signals that because there's a very long wick going down and the bulls or the bears have tried to push it down, but now the bulls have pushed it back up, right? So we want to find a candle something like that on a daily that will be very implicative that the downtrend is over short term. Last time we saw that was right here, right? We saw that right here. And yesterday we finished off with a very bearish candle, right? That's nothing at all to be considering it as support. So what I'm waiting for my key signal is going to be basically a series of many different indicators that will give us a general direction. This one here was decent, right? I know a lot of us made money from here. I called this out on Twitter. I was tweeting about the 17. I was so excited I was tweeting about it like every 20 minutes about it closing, right? It's going to be the signal. If it closes with this dragonfly doji, we are going to see a possible uptrend, and it happened. So 10K, guys, is the key number right now. We have to hold above 10K, and I kid you not, like if we fall below 10K, like 10,800, 10,900, everyone's going to be like panicking, and they're all just going to sell their Bitcoin probably. And we're gonna like here, for example, this reached about 10,940, went up, right? This here around 10,400-ish, that was the open, and this fell all the way down to 9,231 to test it, okay? So once we break 10K's regions, if we break it, then we're obviously going to be testing this region next. That's where we previously were, above 9,300, right? And then if all of these fail, then my theory of the 5 waves coming down to between the 85 to 9,000 region, it will actually come true. So right now, I don't see a single sign of bullishness yet. I only saw a sign of bullishness from 10,000 to 10,900. So I'm going to pull up my bitfinex account here now. I just want to show you guys the moving averages on there because I don't have the moving average charts on here. Hold on, I just got to make sure my you guys know what I'm trying to do. So let's take a look at here, okay? So we're looking for even a short term. On a short term, sure, the 55 moving average crossed over very slightly. Like this is what I did for Ripple. I'll show you guys it, how many trades I made for Ripple today. And this one I actually wrote it like a champ. So let me show you guys. So right here from the uptrend, okay? I was tweeting about if this crosses over there, we're going to get a downtrend. Because I was tweeting about the ascending triangle basically, right? So I entered my position right here at the breakout, okay? An extremely high RSI. It was about 75. That's where I entered, but I confirmed it was fanning. So I entered around 125. And I actually sold mine at about 131 because that's when I confirmed the downtrend using a 55 moving average, right? But what I can say is that even if Bitcoin cannot hold a 55 moving average on a 5-minute chart, because it was the exact same, pretty much same play, Bitcoin and Ripple mirror each other, or more so Ripple mirrors Bitcoin, right? You could have entered a trade at say 10,449 for short term, sold it at 10,795 for a quick $400 profit there, or $300 profit, right? But what I'm getting to is if Bitcoin can't even hold above a 55 EMA right there, obviously it can't hold on any time frame, right? It can't even hold on a 15-minute time frame as well. So it can't even hold on a 30-minute time frame clearly. It can't even hold on a 1-hour time frame. Not even close to it right now. So yeah, there's not a single sign of bullishness yet. And I just want to reiterate that the time I enter a long trade for all of my alts is when this yellow moving average line, it actually crosses over, okay? You guys got to keep in mind this, how powerful this is for Bitcoin as well, right? I'm going to go all the way back to November, say, with Bitcoin, okay? So actually even earlier, we're going to review it from scratch. 55 moving average. Yellow line, okay? Yellow line. Actually, let's go to 6-hour because Bitcoin is very different than Ripple. Let's go to 6-hour chart, okay? We're all the way back in November right now. You would basically enter a trade, even freaking way back, guys. You'd enter a trade when the yellow line is now below all of it. So it goes yellow, orange, purple, and teal, right? And then that's for an uptrend right here. Now for a downtrend, it's now yellow on top and the colors are reversed. So you enter a trade when the 55 moving average is supporting all of it and is underneath all of it, okay? It's being supported by the 8, the 21, 55, and the, 8, 21, my bad, 8, 13, 21, and 55 exponential moving average. So you would have entered a trade around $3,900 for Bitcoin, and you would sell it when the yellow line is now above the line, okay? We're going to wait for a moving average crossover. We're going to wait for a moving average crossover. You entered around 3,500. Boom, it crossed over right here. You just sold it at $6,657, right? That's when you would have sold it. And here, I'm never going to talk about shorting Bitcoin. Here, it fanned out again, right? Fanned out again. This is the correction. Started to fan out again. Boom, you enter a trade at 7,250, 7,250, and you'll sell it when the moving average is now above it, the 55, and the yellow is on top of everything. Boom, you would have sold it right there at 15,000, about $16,000. You would have entered the trade around 7K. You would have sold it around $16,000. Okay, and now you're gonna look for it above again. Okay, like let's say it crosses over again on the 6 hour. Boom, you enter a trade, $15,800, and you would sell it when it crosses over. This one here, you would have sold it pretty much at a loss almost, right? At a loss, but that's okay. You made up for all the other wins that you made. Sorry, this loss, it doesn't make up for all the other wins that you've had already. So you might have taken a small loss there because you took a chance with the moving average. Now we're gonna wait until it crosses over again. We're gonna wait till it crosses over again. And unfortunately, guys, it has not even crossed over once yet, okay? So even on the 3 hour, it hasn't even crossed over yet. So some people play the 3 hour time frame, right? So for example, if you bought right here on a 3 hour time frame instead of a 6, you would have entered around 14.9 again, but you would actually sold it at 15.5 for a profit there. Basically, a crossover is this, okay? You guys can preemptively guess when it's going to cross over, but here, if you actually wait until it's supported above or below for shorting or for going long, then you have a better confirmation. So we're hovering below every single moving average right now, from 5 minute to all the way 30 right now. So it's very difficult to think that there's a possibility of any long-term uptrend right now. And I also want to make note, guys, that what is worrying me right now is the weekly, okay? Like the weekly, I know that I said it's crossed over before into the negative, but like this week officially, guys, we've officially crossed over into the negative, okay? So not to scare anybody, we're still very bullish, right? But some people think there's even a 6K scenario because guess where the moving average is for the 55? It's on the 6K for the weekly, so yeah. On a daily chart though, I do believe it looks like it wants to break up soon. It's just a matter of doing this, guys, like I keep mentioning. So regardless of numbers right now, you guys know where the targets are. I mean, we've talked about it a lot already. Psychologically, 10K holds so strong. If that does not hold strong, just move down to 85 to 8,000, okay? Sorry, if 10K doesn't hold, move down to 95 to 90K. If 9K doesn't hold, move down to 85 to 8K. It's just the name of the game. Bitcoin goes by very round psychological numbers that hold as key support areas. So we're looking for a big candle right now that can act as a support. And I don't see any candles right now. We're also looking for a moving average as well that can act as a support on the bottom. Not even the 5-minute one can do it. It only did it briefly right there from 10 forward till about 11K there. And yeah, so other than that, guys, that's my take on Bitcoin right now. I don't see any signs of support whatsoever on any candles, and I don't see any signs of an uptrend supported by any exponential moving average. And now let's do Ripple really quickly as well, since we're here already. So Ripple is pretty much in the same boat. I'm not even gonna talk about uptrends with this guy as well, okay? Ripple is in the exact same boat, just looking at it from an exponential moving average one. We got some pretty key support areas already. So let's go to some support areas, okay? Let's go to a 3-hour chart. So the biggest key support area we have is most likely around this region here first, right? Under $1.20 to about $1.12, because it just happened yesterday. So in order for us to break down to a lower low, we first have to test specific regions right here. If that doesn't hold, then clearly we move back down to under $1 range to 85 cents. It's pretty much almost free fall from there. Maybe right here is little support, and then here next region. But in terms of numbers, like those are the support regions. Just take the last previous swing low there. But in terms of moving averages, the 3-hour works a lot better on Ripple. You buy it here at 25 cents, right? When it started to fan out right there. Take a look, guys. It started to fan out, right? Right here, it started to fan out with volume. You enter a trade at 24 cents right there. You sell it when the yellow line is now above the moving average, above all the candles and supporting it. 25 cents, you would have sold it right there at $2.45. So and you would have entered a short there, say, right? You entered a short. As soon as you close your position, you would actually sold at, say, 213, but you guarantee that you don't sell at other bad spots, right? You guarantee a downtrend first, right? So you short it right there as soon as you close it as well, and then you have no reason to close your short position yet because the yellow line is not longer below it. Now Ripple did the exact same thing where it went up here, right? It went up right here from $1.20 to, you know, all the way up to $1.36. You know, $1.30 would have been the confirmation to sell it right around that crossover right there. And we can't even support it over a 55 moving average. In fact, it's rejecting it right now with wicks going up to it. So how can we even think that it's on an uptrend on any other time frame, really? On the 15 minute, it barely broke above it. It went down. Now it's fighting to stay above it, but it doesn't look like it. On the 30, it's not even coming close. It broke above it very quickly for a bull break there to some people. I'm sure some people got trapped in a long there, no doubt about it. But it's just rejecting the 55 EMA. On the 1 hour chart, it's the exact same thing pretty much. And if I go through every single indicator on the 1 hour chart, it can't even break into the 60 bullish zone. That's what I don't like, right? Bitcoin couldn't even break into the bullish 50 zone either. On a 15-minute chart, Ripple kind of did. Bitcoin did not. 30-minute chart, it kind of did, but really it did not as well. So I'm waiting right now, guys. Ripple is a little bit ahead in terms of slowly finding more stability, right? So when's the last time we actually closed above the 55 EMA? Last time we closed above it was on the 20th, right? So that's not a big enough confirmation for me. I am waiting for at least the 1 hour one to be interested in an extremely long position for it to cross over. It has to, like for example, here was, I guess, kind of decent, right? Not too decent, I guess. Well, you can take this as a victory right here, okay? It crossed over right here. You could have anticipated a crossover. Like sometimes I anticipate it, sometimes I honestly don't. That's the truth, despite how conservative I am. It just depends on my confidence level. So I would have entered the trade most likely right there, let's say, to be more aggressive and anticipate a breakout. So you entered at $1.34, right? And here you would have sold it right there, anticipating a crossover right there. So you would have entered there around $1.34, you would have sold at $1.53 there, and you still would have made a really nice gain. Like you still would have made a nice 20% gain there. There's no doubt about it. So even on a 1 hour chart, you can play the 55 moving average strategy fairly easily. Now we're not breaking it, right? Like I'll be really interested when Ripple closes above the 55 moving average. So you got to think of it like this. You got to think of it like, oh, if the 55 moving average on a 5-minute chart could support, you know, it can support it, then maybe a 15-minute one can as well, right? Then a 30-minute one. Then you just keep playing into these charts. So let's say I entered a Ripple position, right? I entered a Ripple position right here when it started to fan out. And now you hope that you can ride out this 1-minute wave until it actually reaches a point where it starts to fan out like that on the 5-minute chart as well. And then you hope that that uptrend can continue, right? So for example, right here, okay, we're on a 1-minute chart and we broke above the 55 EMA. We hope that this uptrend can continue long enough so that the 5-minute one can catch up. So that the 5-minute one can eventually catch up and close above the 55. So if that closes above the 55, I have no idea why I'm talking quieter at night. I have no idea. There's like no one around or anything. So maybe I just don't want my dog to wake up or something. So anyways, this is just really weird. I just realized that maybe I'm just so baked right now that I'm just being paranoid on purpose for absolutely no reason. Who knows? So we want this we want this 55 moving average to be closing above that. Then if it closes above that, and if it rides long enough for an uptrend, then eventually the 55 moving average will be supporting the 15-minute one. And if the 15-minute one rides long enough, then eventually the 30-minute one will catch up. And then eventually, you know, you get a really, really big uptrend, right? You get a really big uptrend all the way up to like the 3 hours, the 6 hours, the 1-day charts as well. And then you know you're in an overall really big trend. And that's how you can confirm to hold your positions longer. So right now, I'm not really interested in Ripple holding long term for When I say long term, I mean swing trading, right? I'm not interested in accumulating Ripple in the least right now, or even micro buying, because we're not really getting close to a position where it's showing any signs of support right now. Like, people might think that this is signs of support right now, but who cares if it's support? We want to confirm an uptrend to know when we can enter, right? There's a lot of different kind of traders. There's the kind of traders that are very risky and they try to catch the bottom. And then there are kind of traders that are conservative and also wait for an uptrend before entering a position. So ask yourself, what kind of trader are you, first of all? Do you want to catch the very bottom and be very risky because it may not be the bottom? Or do you want to wait for a very good confirmation to minimize your risk and also, but if you minimize your risk, keep in mind that bigger risk, bigger reward, right? If you wait for confirmation, what that means is you've missed out on a few percentage gains already from the very bottom. But at least you're not guaranteeing, but you're ensuring that you have a higher probability of being successful since you've confirmed an uptrend, right? So this is how I see Ripple and Bitcoin right now, that they are fairly correlated, especially as in Ripple correlated to Bitcoin. Ripple has a higher chance of finding support very soon. Bitcoin does not at all, because it can't even be supported on a 55 moving average on the 5-minute chart. Ripple is at least trying right now, okay? Bitcoin is really not trying at all. I mean, Bitcoin is much further than Ripple. So these are my thoughts. If you guys enjoy these videos, be sure to upvote it on Steemit. I try my best to provide TA in my thoughts, and I apologize if I don't get to every single comment. I tried to respond to every comment before, like before I had like 10K subscribers and followers on YouTube and Twitter, and it was easy. But now I've got like, I think 30, 40K combined. I think I got like 15K on Twitter and like 25K or something on YouTube. I don't know, I haven't checked in a while now. So, but now it's just getting really hard. So what I like to do now is I like to address a group as a whole, right? Where I actually write, believe it or not, guys, like I worry about what you guys think as well, okay? I get general feedback from you guys all the time. If there's enough people wanting something, I'll do it. For example, my time frame tutorial video today, right? People wanted it, I deliver. And so if a lot of people are asking the same things, I write it down and I try to adjust it in one tweet or maybe in one video. It's a lot more time, it's a lot, what's the word, guys? I'm trying to find. It's a lot more efficient with time, I guess, right? So if you guys enjoy these content of mine, I really appreciate an upvote on Steemit. Make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share to the content on Twitter and YouTube. Other than that, have a great night. This might be my very last video. I might be just slamming back like, I don't know, 5 or 6 Tylenol flu medicines and just crash till like next day or something like that. Because I'm a little bit tired still, a little bit under the weather still, and energy's not all back yet from last year, just put it there. It's getting there slowly. So other than that, have a great night, guys, and please be extra cautious. I still expect Bitcoin to make more of a confirmation or more of a downtrend, and we need a lot more signs of stability and support and more volume and break some moving averages and, you know, hit some key numbers, right, in the market before we can really go into a long position for swing trading there. So I'll catch you guys another time. Take it easy.